Joining us in studio tonight. School is out, but be back in session, I guess, here in just a week or two, depending on where in the country you are. Very pleased to have with us in studio from Students for Concealed Carry on Campus, David Burnett, the PR director. How you doing, David?
I am great. How are you, Cam?
Good. Thanks for coming in studio tonight.
Awesome. Always glad to be here, but this time I get to be here in person.
Yes, I know. And you brought friends with you as
I
well.
did bring friends.
Camille Moley from Texas A&M, right?
Yes.
And Madison Welch from Texas A&M. Well, thank you both for coming on the program.
Howdy.
So what brings you to the Washington, D.C. area?
Well, today we had the Students for Concealed Carry convention at the National Press Club, which you already mentioned. Great time. Great, a lot of education, a lot of information. Still cramming the ears full, with all the knowledge that we learned. Colin Goddard was there. He debated John Lott. We had academics there, and we had various student panelists from our group, just trying to educate people and try and spread the knowledge about, how to successfully advocate this mission.
All right, so first question, did Colin Goddard say anything that wasn't a talking point?
Could you ask me if he asked me anything that resembled the logical argument, something like that? No, we didn't hear anything new from him, but that's what we expect.
Yeah. All right, now, ladies, you're both at Texas A&M. Texas was one of those state legislative battles this year that was just heartbreaking. I mean, it came down to the wire, had the support of a majority of legislators, but politics got played, and once again, a good bill was not allowed to get a fair hearing. How frustrating is that for you being on campus and wanting to be able to protect yourselves?
I guess one thing that you kind of, when you were talking about how it was very heartbreaking, I can definitely mention that it was almost like watching your baby be eaten by wolves and standing by and watching it. And it is heartbreaking, and it is it's disappointing because whenever you know something with your entire heart, you know something's right, and you believe it with your entire soul, and you just watch it at your fingertips die, and you always think, what could I have done? What did I do wrong? And we're just gonna have to take what we have learned this past year and 2 years ago, and just figure out what we're gonna be able to do to make it better for 2013.
What about you, Camille? How did you feel?
It's rather disheartening to know how many hours we put into it, because I know Madison and I both were down at the Capitol speaking to the legislators and just getting those confirmations from those legislators, and then just watching it just wisp away due to politics in the Senate.
Well, politics in the Senate, and look, I mean, let's be honest with you. A lot of university presidents, a lot of Board of Regents members really objected to this. I think if the opposition from them wasn't as fierce, the bill probably would have gotten its up or down vote. But you have people who say that you are too irresponsible, that you're just a bunch of drunken college students who can't be trusted, and that you will make, if you are allowed to exercise your right to carry, that you will make A&M a more dangerous campus. What do you say?
We're allowed to carry in so many other places, and there's literally an invisible line between the outside and the inside of the door frame that draws the line. We're deemed responsible in the state of Texas by their regulations to carry literally everywhere else, and it's ridiculous that line is there.
Yeah, and one thing that we always try to make very apparent, and we always like to bring to the surface, is we are not trying to change who can carry. Mm-hmm. Our main focus is changing where licensed concealed handgun holders can carry. It's the location. We're not changing at all about who can carry.
Is that one of the big misconceptions about the debate, you think? People think that you're trying to say that college freshmen can walk on campus at age 17, 18 and get the right to carry a license?
Absolutely. That's definitely, 100%. You hit the nail on the head. That is definitely something that people get a misconception about. It's absolutely not about, we're not trying to change who can carry. We're not trying to change who can obtain a license. It's specifically about where these licensed concealed handgun license holders can carry right now, at the mall, at the movie theater, at Walmart, at church on Sunday morning. And we want to be able to extend that to college campuses on that Monday morning.
So, David, how do you see this issue having changed or grown really over the last 5 years or so that the Students for Concealed Carry on campus has been around.
I'd say we've definitely impacted the nationwide debate. I mean, we had bills in half the states in the union. Half the states in the union. 3 years ago, that was not a reality at all. So I'd say we're definitely making progress in actually getting that dialogue out there. Just asking the question, just having the legislators talk about it. But we had victories this year as well. We had the victory in Mississippi. Granted, Mississippi's a little bit of an ambiguous victory at this point. We're trying to get that clarified by the Attorney General. But the Vice Attorney General was down there saying this means guns can be allowed on campus now. Decriminalized concealed carry in Wisconsin. I'm sure you guys have been covering that extensively.
Oh, yeah.
That basically, the law doesn't even talk about college campuses, which basically opens it up to Texas-style concealed carry, which means on campus proper, not necessarily in the buildings. We had a victory in Oklahoma this year as well. And then, of course, Ken Cuccinelli's ruling in Virginia, which essentially, he's been clarifying those remarks, basically means if you're not a student there, if you're not subject to the college rule, you can carry on campus. Think about that. Virginia Tech, you can carry now. Someone like yourself or someone like me who's not subject to the Virginia Tech penalties.
Yeah.
That's huge. That is huge.
It is huge, and it's I think a much needed first step. Clearly, though, I think none of you would say that's where it should be, because if you have faculty members, if you have students who are going to their car, you all heard Amanda Collins talk about her story today, and here's a woman who was a right to carry holder, student at the University of Nevada, Reno, but because of the campus policy, she didn't have her gun on her. She was walking to her car, back from class one night, walking with a group of people, like you're supposed to do in a well-lit area, but she broke away to go to her car, and within 20 or 30 feet, she was grabbed by a man with a gun who held her down, sexually assaulted her, ultimately went on to attack more women and actually kill a co-ed. These rules, these laws that prevent good people like you, like Amanda, from being able to protect themselves in what can be a dangerous situation. I mean, until those laws are struck down and until you guys have the right to carry, I'm guessing you're not going to be satisfied.
No, we're not stopping. We're not going away. And I would agree with you. I mean, Amanda's an amazing young woman. And the thing that most people don't know yet is that she was a black belt in Taekwondo. This was not just an ordinary woman, but it's for the ordinary woman that we're doing this. I mean, I really don't think anybody's going to attack me on campus and sexually assault me. I don't think it's going to happen. I can hope, but I don't think it's going to happen. But for the females out there, the people, we need to level that playing field. If you have a permit, if you are trusted by the state to carry, like they said, on the church on Sunday morning, what's different about the college campus? Why can Virginia Tech stop me only if I apply to go to school there, if I decided to go for a graduate degree at Virginia Tech? Suddenly that gives them the authority to stop me where before they didn't. We've got to end that arbitrary authority. They can't ban the First Amendment on campus. They don't need to ban the Second Amendment.
Yeah. So how is how is the movement going? Are you growing as an organization?
Yeah, we are. I mean, we're kind of. I think the problem is we're. I don't want to say the problem. When the problem is not as manifested, people don't pay as much attention.
Okay.
And we're a couple of years out from the last massive college shooting. Unfortunately, nothing has changed. We haven't learned those lessons. Virginia Tech learned the lesson of getting notification out there earlier, but at the same time, obviously, they don't trust their gun-free zone, because when they heard that there might be somebody who might be holding something that might look like a gun on campus, they didn't say, it's a gun-free zone, no worries. They called armed law enforcement, who put the campus on lockdown.
Yeah.
They don't trust their gun-free zone. And again, for students like us, we can't trust their gun-free zone either, and their police aren't there to protect us. But yeah, in answer to your question, we're growing. We're kind of taking a breath, and then we're moving forward the next big plunge.
All right. Well, listen, David and Camille and Madison, thank you all for coming in studio tonight. Go get some dinner. I understand you guys haven't eaten all day long.
It's been a long day. It's been a long day.
hungry.
Not since last
Well,
night.
the long day is coming to a close. Thank you again, and I hope we can do this at some point in the future. And Madison and Camille, go Pokes. I'll be.
Thanks and Gigo.
We'll have you guys on right before the A&M Oklahoma State game. How about that?
We will be
All right,
here.
we'll be here.
Okay.
will
Thanks
be here.
again.
Thanks, Cam.